Hey guys, we're in the kitchen actually of the studios here at AM 860 The Answer, our flagship station. We are moving also, we're having a best of show that's going to be over on 1640 AM The Patriot, which now in Portland we're on two radio stations.
Yeah.
Where is it? We're in Grants Pass, we're in other places. So Oregon's just popped up with like three or four different.
I think Newport and Bend.
Grants Pass. Portland, we have 1640 The Patriot and 860 AM The Answer.
And that'll be on Saturdays at 8 o'clock.
Saturdays at 8. That's right. And which we find very cool because, we were on one station that was an FM talker. FM is line of sight, so that doesn't mean it gets out too far. But this AM signal is going to bounce around all over the West Coast. So we'll be heard in a lot of places thanks to all these radio stations that are putting us on and hopefully more. I wanted to explain to everybody, a lot of people are saying, well, they dropped you on this station, and I'm going to tell you why. As I found out why. Had nothing to do with the show, had nothing to do with the content, had nothing to do with us or anything. What it has to do with is that iHeartRadio has decided that in order to control the content that they have, they are taking shows that aren't iHeart shows, and they're taking them off and replacing them with iHeart preferred programming. So that means, since I'm an independent and I have other networks that I work with, since I'm not an iHeart show, they're going to drop me in some markets. They may drop me in some markets, but we have to scramble, get other markets across town to make it work. So that's why somebody said, well, they're just playing reruns of George Norias because George Norias is an iHeart property. Or they talk about Buck Sexton or somebody else that's an iHeart property.
And who is Buck?
Former CIA. Anyway. So that's the thing. So that's why we were saying Aftermath.fm and Aftermath.media are the places to go to hear the shows, because there are networks now that are very, very particular about what their talk show hosts are talking about, including voter fraud. If a talk show host, and I can't remember what network it was, speaks about voter fraud, calling it a fixed election, they'll be fired. And that's the thing, is that they can't speak their minds. They can't even talk about it. Facebook right now has decided to limit our reach because I posted 3 stories. 2 of them were Associated Press stories that basically were updated, and so they said they fact-checked them and said they were wrong. The other one was some story that I posted that I can't believe that they even... it was that woman that fainted when she got her vaccine. They're saying that I was putting out false information, that I said that it was that it was COVID. No, the headline said it was COVID. I said that she had a vasovagal problem, and I added that, but it didn't matter. They saw the headline and their bots shut me down. So you may be seeing in our feed a diminished feed because of that. So that's why, again, you go to Nucifer, which is our news source, and some of the stories we post on Facebook will be on Nucifer, and you can read those there without having them being fact-checked.
Untampered.
Untampered with. So, I mean, there are ways to get around it, and that's why we ask you to subscribe to Aftermath.media. It's $5 flat, same simple, for the shows that we have. We have a library that is very good for doing research. In fact, we're just doing research with the CIA documents. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow with Ryan Sprague, who's been on the History Channel and several other channels talking about UFOs and UAP. So we have the CIA documents in there, although they are free at the Black Vault. We just have them there for research. I mean, that way, if you can't find them, you just go to Aftermath and they're there. We're not saying that those documents are exclusive to us. They're not. They're just there. That's what a library is. A library, you can go to any library, find information that's either free or not free or whatever, or locked up or whatever, and that's what we have there. So it's just an easy access. That's all it is. It's like you have an easy access to a lot of these documents and easy access to a lot of the videos, a lot of easy access to some shows we have, like, of course, Ground Zero and Haterazzi, and we're going to have Ryan Gable, some of his shows. We're going to have Jeremy Scott, some of his shows. So, I mean, and we have these new things called... They're called study groups and study areas, and we take some of the famous conspiracy theorists and talkers, like, Bill Cooper. We have some of his recorded files there. We have Tracy Twyman books, Tracy Twyman articles, Tracy Twyman documents that we just added into the study group. So there's a Tracy Twyman study group if you want to be a part of it. If you go to Aftermath.media, that's included though in your $10 subscription. So be sure to subscribe the $10 subscription if you want to get into Tracy Twyman's study group. He's a really good group. I love the study groups. In fact, I'm in those. I want to go back and brush up with my Bill Cooper. And now that I have easy access to Tracy Twyman materials, it's going to be great too. And I'm really excited for that. You should be too, because there's a lot of information in our library that's just amazing. Tonight's show is called Agrophobia. It's going to be about the future, which is called Codex Alimentarius, where they're going to be altering what we eat. And what's interesting is that the foods that they're proposing, the GMOs and other foods, they're going to create a lot of problems with your gut. And I was reading about that. They were saying that a lot of them don't provide the bacteria necessary to maintain a healthy gut, which means that more and more people are going to be diagnosed with IBS and other problems. I don't know if you've noticed, though, there are a lot of drugs out on the market right now, like Lyrica and others, that are there to tame your IBS, but also puts a dent in your immune system, which is one of the side effects of using these drugs. So you'll be hearing about more drugs about indigestion, diarrhea, IBS, all of these things, Crohn's disease, and pancreatic insufficiency. These are the things that are being caused by these GMO foods. And it's something that I think we need to discuss. Ronnie McMullen will be with us tonight on Ground Zero to talk about this. He'll also be talking about some of the things that he actually sells, the great deals that he has at getthetea.com. It's getthetea.com. A lot of this stuff helps your gut. In fact, GI Joy, I went off of it for a while and I regretted it. And being on GI Joy is probably one of the best things ever. If you want to pick up a bottle of GI Joy, just go to getthetea.com and then you can pick it up.
Stuff is great.
It is. It's amazing. It's really good. I mean, a lot of the stuff that he has is amazing, and that's why we're so glad to have Ronnie on. And our relationship with Ronnie has always been a good one, because a lot of the stuff that he has is good for the gut. It's good for the mental health. And I was reading about that today with the agrophobia, and it's called agroecology, where they're trying to get farms to become more organic, because in the face of this GMO scare and everything, these are some things that are going to be basically put into play now that Joe Biden's president. So some things to look at, look forward to, maybe not. Anyway, we're going to head to the studio in just a bit and do the show, but thank you for watching this video. And remember, sign up for Aftermath.media, please. It really helps the show, and we really appreciate all of your support here at Ground Zero. Thank you.